What up, gang? This is KenZerk, KenZillion, Zika Million, and Villain Trillion, and we are back on SHIIIIT Night. It has been a minute since I last recorded this. Low-key, been a little haven't really had a lot of motivation to record shit. I haven't really been seeing a lot of progress on the channel, and you know, shit like that kind of makes you think like, nigga, the fuck am I doing this for? But you know, nigga like me, I just press the fuck forward, alright? So we back on SHIIIIT Night. I think we got 2 days left before it's the end. Yeah, we on day 14. Last episode, bitch ass nigga Shinji and bitch ass nigga 2 Gilgamesh pulled up on Ilya and killed her and Berserker. And we were there trying to recruit them to be on our side against Caster, but they killed them and then went about their way. So we were in despair. We had a heart-to-heart with Tosaka, and then after that, we met Lancer actually pulled up on us, and now we're working with him. And since Lancer is still here and has a master, there's a good chance that Kiryu, not fucking Kiryu, is it Kiryu? Kiritsugu. There's a good chance that Kiritsugu is still alive. So let's get into it. Day 14, Dawn, Church, the battle begins. February 13th, Unlimited Blade Works, Day 14, Night Stay Night. What? Night Stay Night? What the hell does that mean? Before that, there's just one more conversation. When they get out of the forest and day breaks, before they head to the church, the girl tells him the fact that she kept hitting. I'll tell you this now, but the painting you gave back to me is one of a kind. She doesn't say what that means, and he doesn't pursue it further. That is because that is an unnecessary matter when they are about to fight their biggest enemy, Caster. Only one pendant, the one he found in her room and returned to her. The one that he picked up that night and put into his desk. Now is not the time to be pursuing that contradiction. That's all I have to say. The pendant you found in my room is something Archer returned to me on the day you were stabbed by Lancer. I just assumed it was something that he picked up. The decisive battle is near. The roof of the tall church could be seen in the corner when looking up at the sky. Osaka says she wants to confirm things one last time. Our roles are decided. Lancer will draw Archer and Saber away from Caster. We will use that opening to fight Caster. In response to Lancer sarcastically asking if we'd be able to defeat Caster. Yeah, I think we can outwit Caster if I can fight her one-on-one. Osaka replies with confidence, are you sure? I don't know what the fuck she means by outwitting her. She wouldn't tell us even if we asked, so it must be a strategy that has a lower success rate if she tells her allies. Well, here's my thing. Caster is smart as shit, but she's cocky as fuck, right? I feel like, so she makes a lot of dumbass decisions because of that. Just like with Saber. When her master was saying like, I'll take care of Saber, you take care of them. And she was saying, no, I can handle Saber. And then she couldn't handle Saber because Saber's magic repellent, and she just didn't realize that her magic repellent was that fucking powerful. Like, she's smart as hell, but she's so confident in her own abilities that she does dumbass shit. So she could be trying to use that. All I need to do is fulfill Tosaka's demands. I'll keep Kuzuki from protecting Caster no matter what. I'll project his source however many times it's necessary to do that. I close my eyes and dive inside myself. The magic circuit that flows inside of me is stable. Magecraft beyond one's capacity will destroy the user themselves. The first time, half of my body went numb. The second time's projection was surprisingly easy and had no effect on my body. There's no guarantee that the third time will be the same, but I think there should be no problem with just copying his swords. My body is stable. Through sheer awareness alone, I have access to the magic circuits that were so difficult to create before. It's like there's a fake nerve behind my normal nerve, and I'm able to reverse them with just a press of a button. There's part of me that wants to believe it's because I got used to it. I can easily prepare the swords. Projection has become my primary weapon. It's improved greatly compared to 10 days ago. Not only has the control of my magic circuits improved, but even my sword technique is improved. The reason behind it, I stopped myself from thinking about it. The top priority is to defeat Castor and get Saber back. I gotta take a shit. Hold on. I gotta take a shit. Asking myself stupid questions can come after the battle. My headache gets worse the closer I get to the church. It's just like when I was looking for Tosaka, but I can't stop thinking about that. My stomach hurts for some reason. The sunrise is gray. The sunlight is blocked by the clouds, sealing the dawn's brightness. The sky above is cloudy. The sky is closer to black than gray and reminds me of that time 10 years ago. Is it gonna start raining soon? A dull white sky. That man was standing under the cloudy sky that smelled like it had just stopped raining. I knew you would come. He stares at Tosaka with cool eyes. Tosaka doesn't say anything and stares back at Archer. So, what is the plan you've prepared? You're not the type to challenge someone without one. Yeah, you're fighting me. Hold on! I'm surprised. It's only been a few days since you lost me and you already made a contract with a new servant. Good grief. I'm not one to talk, but you're quite fickle. Maybe cutting ties with you was the right thing to do. Ah! It's fine, Shiro. Don't let him provoke you. She stops me, still staring at Archer. What is obvious looking at her face. Even if she knows he's provoking her, it doesn't change the fact that those words hurt for Tosaka. I didn't like you from the start, but it seems you're rotten to your core. Oh. Does betrayal get on your nerves, Lancer? You're not even the one who got betrayed. How faithful of you. I'm not supporting a young lady. I just don't like how there are servants like you. A hero's pride, huh? Jeez, everyone says the same thing. Even that caster has such a ridiculous thing. What honor do you have to protect when you're dead? To be honest, I can't understand how you people think. Yeah, you don't have to. I'll save you the trouble. Conversation ceases between the two of them. All that's left is Lancer's sharp intent to kill, and Archer's calm intent to kill. They are about 10 meters apart. The knight in red and knight in blue confronting each other is like a reenactment of that night. Lancer. Tosaka calls to the blue back. You two go inside. I'll catch up once I beat this guy. I know, but Lancer, Archer is... Yeah, I'll go easy on him. I need for him to get on his knees and apologize to you. Without looking back, he smiles while still staring at Archer. Thank you. I'm glad you're the one who came to help us. We go around the two and run to the church. Archer, the guard, casually lets us go through. No, we had to let us go through. Archer's already confronting Lancer. If he gave us attention in such a situation, he would have got stabbed in the chest by Lancer in the next moment. Either he doesn't let us go but gets attacked by Lancer, or he lets us go but confronts Lancer. If he really is guarding this place, the choice should be obvious. We run around the courtyard and open the door to the church without hesitation. Behind us. Jeez, this is troublesome. What is it, Lancer? Well, I can't go easy after she thanks me like that. That's troubling, right? She's a great master, but I'm not one who's able to betray my master readily. You're rather naive, Lancer. Do you know the saying, the grass is always greener on the other side? What are you saying? Of course not! Trust me, the grass is not always greener. That shit is a lie! We don't have much time. We'll beat Castle before Lancer and Archer settle their match. I know, we shouldn't waste our breath. So, are you sure I can leave Cancer. All right. No, actually, no. Hold on. Story time, right? Y'all know how you get out of high school, you got your group chat dies, all your friends that you talk to every damn day, you stop talking to them for fucking months and maybe years and shit like that. All right. So tell me why I get out of high school, right? And I was in this group chat, homeboys, homegirls, talking to them damn near every fucking day, right? Constant conversation, always some shit going on in that group chat, right? We graduate, barely any communication in that group chat, you know? And this goes on for years. Like, I think maybe only 3-4 times throughout since I graduated, which was damn near 3 years ago. Not 3 years ago. Was it really 3 years ago? 2 years ago, since I graduated, maybe 3-4 times only have I talked in that chat, right? Tell me why yesterday I see the chat is having constant conversation again for some reason. I look in the chat, turns out one of my homegirls just beat Cancer. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. What did I miss? How the fuck? I look in the chat for the first time in so long. There's finally some activity in this damn chat. I look in there, homegirl done beat Cancer. What the fuck is happening? When did this shit occur? Right? But anyways, let's see if Tosaka can beat Cancer. So are you sure I can leave Caster to you, fuck. Yes, I'm sure I'll be thoroughly cornered, but don't help me. You could just try to keep Mr. Kuzuki his way as long as possible. We go past the chapel and head to the door leading to the courtyard. I won't hesitate if Tosaka says so. Most of all, I don't know if I could back Tosaka up even if she were in trouble. My opponent is Kuzuki. I wouldn't even be able to dodge his first attack if I'm paying attention to Tosaka. Caster's presence is getting closer. She must not even be hiding her powers, as the church is surrounded by Caster's magical energy. Alright, nigga, stop beating your shit. With this amount, she must already know about our raid. Hold on. I knit together the illusion as carefully as I can using the 8 steps. I got used to it as his swords are in both my hands within a minute. Damn, my stomach is hurting like a bitch. I gotta take another shit. What did I eat? What did I eat that got my stomach like this? I feel a light headache. Even though I'm getting used to it, it takes some sort of toll on my body after all. Projection is certainly affecting my body without me realizing it. Huh? Is it my imagination? For a moment, I thought Tosaka had hung her head in sorrow while running next to me. We go down through the darkness. We run down the stairs that go underground and out to the open area. And after that, we jump off of the railing of the stairs down to the sanctuary like before. Oh, you guys are like monkeys jumping down like that. I don't know why you're in such a hurry, but at least use the stairs if you're human. We land in the sanctuary. This is supposed to be a surprise attack, but Caster greets us with composure. Hi. There is Soichiro Kuzuki standing beside Caster. I feel no enmity or bloodlust from him. This is his battle posture. His clear murderous intent is even hiding the dreadfulness of that man. In that regard, he's even more like an assassin than a servant assassin right now. Which servant was assassin? Oh, the samurai. Saber is at the altar. The situation is the same as 2 days ago. Saber still tied from the ceiling with her head hanging down. I'm relieved we made it, but at the same time it worries me how awfully quiet she is. I feel like Saber was a bit more in pain before. She was shaking slightly as if breathing with her whole body to go against Caster's magical energy. But she's silent now like she's frozen. I have a bad feeling. It's good Assassin is not here, but we won't be able to get out of here alive if my worries are true. We're here, Caster. I thought things through, but I've decided to have you eliminated. You're an eyesore. You're in my way, you're troublesome, and I don't like the way you dress. You look like you came from the countryside with that purple robe in this day and age. Tosaka insults Caster, who is full of composure and is refusing to lose against her. Even though she's saying such things, she must actually be feeling the opposite from the way she's slowly closing in on her. Now's not the time for me to be concerned about Saber either. If Tosaka's gonna close in on Caster counterclockwise, I'll close in clockwise. Caster and Kuzuki. We're gonna separate them. We have to attack them from both sides and isolate our enemies. You seem to be making a big misunderstanding as someone who was let go. Are all mages nowadays so reckless? No wonder Archer gave up on you. Tosaka's insults must have worked on her, as Caster's glaring only at Tosaka. This bitch is stupid! I use that opening to move. I move to the other side of Tosaka where I can attack Caster from the other side. Kuzuki watches that in silence. I knew it. There's no way that man won't notice something like this. He's aware of everything. The fact that we're trying to defeat them one by one and the fact that Tosaka has some kind of plan. Even with that in mind, Kuzuki is letting Caster do as she wishes. It's not like Kuzuki's being manipulated by Caster. He became Caster's master of his own free will. But still, based on his passivity, Kuzuki is close to a puppet. A servant who is skilled in providing backup using magecraft, and a master who is skilled in hand-to-hand combat. Their roles are reversed, and I feel like their way of being reversed as well. Their way of being is reversed as well. Caster who persistently seeks the Holy Grail, and the master protects Caster without his own will. That makes me think without a reason. That if Caster was a master and Kuzuki was just a servant who protected her, then they wouldn't have fallen so low. Tosaka looks over at me. It means our positions are perfect. Then, the match will be settled if either of us attacks. Whether Tosaka and I get defeated or Tosaka defeats Caster before that, our battle with Caster will end here. Let us start then. This is the third time I'm fighting you. I'll settle this for the last time. Tosaka steps in closer to Caster. You're talking big. I doubt it, but do you seriously think you can win against me, young lady? In that case, we don't even need to fight. I shall let you go again this time, so that you can go fix that personality of yours. Of course I can win. Isn't that right? There's no way a first-class mage can lose to a third-class mage like you. Damn! Is that so? Then I suppose it can't be helped. It seems that I need to discipline that arrogant mouth of yours, young lady. Wash that shit out with soap. They brace themselves at the same time. With a few meters between them, they look like mirror images. This is the signal. I attack the defenseless Caster. And of course, I'm blocked by Kuzuki's blow. The ghost-like assassin is in front of me. I don't have the composure to watch over Tosaka and Caster's fight. Shit. He already knows my intentions. He will not let me buy time. Letting out the snake that cornered even Saber, so Ichiro Kuzuki comes to take my life. I can hold him off for 1 minute at most. That should be the same for Tosaka. Originally, this was a battle with no chance of victory had the roles not been reversed. There's no way we can win against enemies who surpass us both in hand-to-hand combat and magecraft. But looking at it the other way, we can at least put up a fight. Tosaka would be killed in an instant if she fought Kuzuki, and Caster would end me just by pointing at me if I fought her. On the other hand, we might not be able to win, but at least we won't get killed in an instant. In other words, this battle is not about how we can defeat them, but a battle like walking on a tightrope to see how long we can hold off an opponent who's superior to us. Interlude. End of the chapter. Chapter end. Imagine. The lethal weapons cross. The twin swords and the spear repeatedly attack, trying to take each other's necks. Those attacks are continuous without hesitation. Every blow that is released is meant to kill. Lancer is not an exception. Even though we told Rin Tosaka, his ally, that he would take it easy, that becomes secondary once the battle starts. It merely means that if his spear happens to miss Archer's heart, and it does not kill him instantly, then he won't finish him off. In that case, his enemy will die, but Lancer will just need to drag Archer to Rin Tosaka before he does. Lancer does not care what happens after that. Hold on! Damn! They scrapping! The Crimson Demonic Spear invades the enemy's territory. The spear breaks through Archer's defense each time it is thrust. It is different from the battle from before. Archer cannot handle Lancer's attacks that he was not able to dodge that night. It is only natural. This is the second battle. Lancer was bound by a certain command spell. To learn his enemy master's strengths, his master told Lancer, "Fight with everyone, but do not defeat them. Survive the battle against someone you are fighting against for the first time, no matter what." That is the only command he was given. He obeyed such a ridiculous command, and his no-holds-barred battle had finally come. Therefore, there is no way that that is the same as the last battle. There is nothing binding Lancer, and Archer is now fighting the fastest heroic spear out of all the servants. Anguish escapes from Archer for a second time. Even his hawk-like eyes cannot follow Lancer's spear. The spear's trajectory is no more than a point to start with. That was changing into a flash of light now. He cannot see the tip of the spear closing in on him. Even the fuck. I'm sorry, guys. Even the movements of Lancer's arms and legs are speeding up to reach the realm that is no longer visible. This nigga's fast. He was about to dodge this much. He was able to dodge as much because he knew Lancer's spear from the last battle. He was doing what he can now, using the fact that he is inferior to Lancer when it comes to hand-to-hand combat as a weapon to handle his fierce attacks. He's adjusting where he gets attacked. The Knight in a red cloak limits the attacks by creating fatal openings himself. Of course, he will die if he does not dodge his attacks. But if he's going to die getting wounds all over his body from trying to avoid an instant death, he'd rather die an instant death with all limbs intact. Otherwise, it will all have been for nothing. Fortunately, Lancer is still underestimating Archer. No, he's simply immersed in the battle itself. If they're gonna keep on killing each other with the difference in ability, then he can think of another 30 ways of showing openings. Predicting the enemy's movements using information gained previously, and breaking the status quo from cultivated battle experience. That is the mind of steel called the mind's eye that is gained from training. This is nothing deemed as extraordinary. It is the only skill that he possesses. It is not innate like Saber's instinct, but it is a simple weapon that anyone can gain from training in a frank manner. Lancer withdraws his spear and stops for a bit. He observes the disgruntled bowman in red. It is obvious who's going to win. Archer has no chance of victory at hand-to-hand combat. That is something he knew. If Archer is a bowman like his name states, this cannot be a fair fight unless he's shooting from a distance. But he blocked the attacks. He's been at an advantage and should know and should not last a few more blows, but he blocked my full force attacks. Is he strong or am I going easy on him? I sneer. Archer is a mysterious servant. I should admit that he's strong in that regard, but it's unthinkable to think I'm going easy. The first attack was aimed at the neck to blow his face off. The second was aimed at his heart to smash his ribcage. There's no way I'm going easy. There's no way, but it is certainly true I wasn't trying to kill him. What is there in a serious battle? A battle between servants comes down to a battle of noble phantasms. The fact that I'm cornering him without using that fatal attack is proof I'm going easy. The reason? The cause seems to be an expression of gratitude that he never heard before. Damn, jeez. Am I being serious? He's a little sweetie pie. He's going easy because Tosaka didn't want Archer dead. The swords clash harder than before. Both parties spring apart with sparks that fly. Lancer's full force blow, as if he's about to hit himself, is offset by Archer's full force attack. The distance between them is about 5 meters. With that distance, Lancer should be able to close in at an instant. I don't get it. The spearman in blue murmurs. You went under Caster even though you're this strong. You and Rin would be able to defeat Caster. Lancer stops admitting murderous intent, but there's no opening in his stance. At that, Archer slightly smiles. I'm surprised. I was wondering what you were going to say, but you're still saying such things. Lancer, I chose the option that has the highest possible chance of victory. No matter what Rin thinks, I decided that there is no other option than this. His voice, full of confidence, has no sense of guilt. The knight in red actually did not regret betraying his master. Is that so? It was stupid of me to even ask. Archer agrees. Lancer snorts and quietly raises the tip of his spear. You're certainly good at fighting. You should be able to manage well with the path you chose. But that is not the right way. Your sword definitively lacks pride. His fighting spirit rises. Seeing that, the bowman in red smiles in delight. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have any pride. But what about it? Will my name as a hero be disgraced? Don't make me laugh, Lancer. I can wash off disgrace with results. You can feed your meaningless pride to the dogs. In an instant, the slightly relaxed atmosphere completely changes. The air freezes. The demonic spear with the magical energy to disrupt the order of the world and invert cause and effect is raised. The murderous intent that is released is nothing like before. In the midst of the tension where it was difficult to even breathe. You said dogs, Archer. The spearman in blue bellows in a voice that could drive crows away from the battlefield. It's the truth, Kukulane. You have pride as a hero, but you should get rid of it right now. Well said. Then, you die first. Lancer jumps back greatly. It's not a matter of distance that thrusts his spear. The distance that opened between them is in an instant is over 100 meters. Lancer leaps back to the entrance of this clearing and crouches on all fours like a beast. Archer's 5 senses freeze. Is it fear or awe? Whichever it is, he immediately understood. The meaning of Lancer's retreat. The fact that his enemy's next attack is literally a fatal attack. You know about Gabe Bullock's ability, right, Archer? Lancer, crouching on the ground on all fours, raises his waist. His form is like a sprinter, waiting for a starting pistol. Archer does not have time to answer. The knight in red throws away his swords and immerses himself with his own mind as fast as possible. But will he make it? Lancer's posture. If this demonic sword is like the legend, the noble phantasm that blocks, it cannot be superficial. Here I come. Take this attack as a farewell present. The Blue Panther runs. Even his after image is far away. Lancer sprints towards Archer like the wind. The distance between both parties is 100 meters. Lancer is not going to thrust his spear with that running start. The blue figure crouches. The spearman that ran through 50 meters in an instant suddenly leaps up from the ground. This is hard! His body flies through the air. He holds up the magical spear that always pierces the heart once it's thrust. Space distorts, according to the legend. His spear scatters numerous arrowheads once it is thrust into the enemy. In other words, gay! Soaring spear that. The spear of causality responds to the words. The spearman in blue leans back as if drawing a bow. Plunges with death! Oh shit! He slams down that blow with a roar! It is a noble phantasm that was made to be thrown. The spear that always pierces the heart once it's aimed. The cursed noble phantasm that cannot be avoided and will continue attacking the target every time it is avoided. That is Gay Bulg, the spear of destruction possessed by the hero who never lost once in his lifetime. There is no way to stop that thing that is shot out with all of Lancer's magical energy. It cannot be avoided nor dodged. Therefore, it is fatal. There is no way for one to survive once they are targeted by the magical spear. The magical bullet approaches. In a split second, the knight in red closes his eyes as if accepting his death. The thorn of light clashes. The moment the thorn of destruction comes falling from the sky to directly hit the knight in red. 7 rings cradling the burning heavens. The true name is spoken, shaking the air. The spear and shield clash. The spear of death which breaks through every protective wall and evasion. The spear is stopped. The fatal spear is stopped by Archer's noble phantasm, swirling up a storm of wind and scattering debris. The 7 flower petals that appeared from somewhere protect Archer and oppose the magical bullet that tries to shoot him down. Who would know? His protection itself is Aias. The only thing said to have stopped the javelin of the great hero is the shield of Aias. There are 7 barriers shaped like flower petals, and each layer is as strong as the castle wall. It is a bounded field noble phantasm that is invincible against any projectile weapon targeted towards the user. A thrown spear will surely be defeated by the shield without penetrating even one of its petals. At the very least, Archer does not know of any spear that can break through this shield. And yet, the fatal spear breaks through it effortlessly. Fuck that bitch ass shield! Get that weak ass shit out of here, bitch! I'm sorry. The 6th flower petal is destroyed. Only one remains. The magical spear reaches the 7th petal that has never been pierced through and doesn't stop its force. The unstoppable thorn of the magical spear. With that right in front of him. With the roaring spirit, Archer pours all of his magical energy into his own noble phantasm. One of those things broke. Lancer, who was landing on the ground, stares at the servant in front of him. Archer has wounds all over his body. His stretched out arm is like a decayed branch. His face is distorted in pain, not only from the wounds on his arm, but from enduring a headache beyond his imagination. I'm surprised. I did not think there was a spear in this world that could penetrate ice. Your spear surpasses the original Gungnir. The knight in red compliments the spearman in blue from the bottom of his heart. There is no way such a thing would get through to Lancer. His strongest attack, the attack that made him a hero, was blocked. He is so angry that his glare should be able to kill someone. But that anger is almost erased by a strange wonder. It is too strange. It is true that Archer is a mysterious servant. His identity is unknown. He carries twin swords while being a bowman, and even showed a shield that could block Lancer's strongest attack. That is abnormal. Such a hero cannot be found anywhere in this world. Who are you? I'm just a bowman. Your judgment is not incorrect. Nigga, okay. Remember my theory before? Remember my theory before about the metaphors of this, right? That Archer and Shiro were meant to be mirrors of each other, right? And that Archer was meant to show what Shiro would be in the future if he continues down such a selfless path, such a selfless path. You know, like selfish but selfless. You feel me? That sort of shit. Where you sacrifice yourself, but for your own ego, right? To satisfy yourself, you know? If he continues down that path, he'll end up like Archer, right? I set that theory. What if they're taking it a step further? What if Archer is dead ass just fucking Shiro? Not actually fucking him. Like Archer doesn't have the nigga bent over a table, long stroking this shit. I mean, what if Archer is Shiro from the future? Cause you know, this Holy Grail shit has some weird timelines. Cause technically, if you saw the Fate route, you would know, technically, Saber's not even dead. You know? Saber isn't even actually dead yet. She's still dying, you know? Like for her, time is completely stopped in her world. She's not even dead yet. So what if Archer is from the future and he's being like sent back to the past and shit to handle like issues, and it's like some weird time shit. Just like with Saber. What if that's what's going on? And Archer is actually Shiro Emiya, literally, in the most literal sense. Because think of it like this. He has twin swords. Why the fuck does a bowman have twin swords? He has twin swords, projection magic. He has a shield, projection magic. Those swords aren't his. That shield isn't his. He saw them bitches and he projected them bitches. He knows about them. Those are legendary weapons and he projected those legendary weapons to be used. He simply mastered his projection magic. That's it. And a bowman. Do y'all remember what Shiro is? He's a bowman. He literally does, what is it called? Kyudai? He shoots arrows. That's what he does. He shoots arrows. That's his whole shit. Okay. And besides that, okay. And he, for some reason, Archer doesn't know why he knows Saber, but he's familiar with Saber. He knows Saber for some reason. He knows that in his past life, he had a good relationship with Saber. Or he was close to Saber. He knows that. What else? He knew a lot about what Shiro was going through. He claims to have went through it himself because he was Shiro. He was Shiro. When he was Shiro, he went through that shit. I've yapped for too long, but that's my theory. Archer is Shiro. Do not confirm or fucking deny. I'm just a bowman. Your judgment is not correct. It's not incorrect. Nonsense. A bowman would not have a shield that could block a noble phantasm. It depends. But this is the result. I used up most of my magical energy. One of my arms is destroyed and eyes is completely shattered. Jeez. That was my strongest protection. Lancer keeps glaring at Archer, who's bantering. Then, more importantly, have you noticed, Lancer? KenZerk seems to be unexpectedly struggling. She's no longer supervising us. Archer adds, raising his arms as if to surrender. I see. I thought so. So that was your intention from the start. Of course. I told you, right? That I would only choose the option with the highest success rate? I really hate you. Lancer says bitterly and turns his back to Archer. His job is done. His role to distract Archer is meaningless now. There's no need for him to support Ren Tosaka any longer. The spearman in blue turns on one heel to return to his master and lays on the ground to observe some more. on the grass. I'm fucking with this narrative. I'm not gonna lie, Nasu, bro, you ain't me. Like, you ain't me or nothing. But damn, this nigga can write. He ain't me. Don't get me wrong, he ain't me. But this nigga can write. This nigga got some good pen game. We might have to get him in the studio with Kendrick Lamar. They can cook some shit up. I desperately parried the constant flurry of fists. Kuzuki's fists are live snakes. Even if I barely dodge them, they change their course of direction to come bite me the moment I avoid them. That's how Saber got seriously injured. Saber was grazed by Kuzuki's snake because she had the reflexes to dodge it. But I don't have such reflexes. I can't dodge them, and first of all, I can't even see his fists. I can't see them, so it's impossible to even dodge them. My shoulder. Kuzuki's fist grazes my left collarbone. Ow. It's like a sledgehammer. It feels as if my left shoulder is shattering and I almost dropped my dagger. I stop and parry, repelling the repeated fists aiming towards my face with the dagger in my right hand. I desperately retreat. I retreat without regard for my appearance while Kuzuki closes in, without revealing how he advanced. I shiver at his stance. I won't be able to withstand the next attack. It's absurd that I was able to parry all the attacks until now. It doesn't feel real. My misunderstanding of being able to manage with just defense and being a decoy until Osaka defeats Caster shattered from the first blow. So Ichiro Kuzuki took our previous battle into account. Before, I was able to fend off Kuzuki who attacked Osaka, so I thought I'd be able to block his attacks if I projected Archer's twin swords. But on the other hand, that means I can't do anything without Archer's swords. Kuzuki took that into consideration. This time, the first thing that Kuzuki did was try to take away my twin swords. Damn! My right dagger shatters. Bars. His fists, strengthened by Caster's magecraft, destroys my sword with just a few blows. I immediately replaced the dagger. I can't expect high quality from a forced projection and quickly made swords. As a result, the twin swords that received several attacks lose their accuracy. I can't control my breathing. I frantically block Kuzuki's snake with my twin swords. My body just follows the twin swords. My limbs that copy Archer's movements have far exceeded the limits of my body. And then there's this headache. My body erodes every time my twin swords are destroyed and I project new ones. It's different from using my magical energy. It feels like I lose one of the magic circuits I have every time I make a new sword. I'm almost out. I might be able to make 2 more. It's over when my magical energy runs out. But first of all, would I even be able to make 2 more? I'm in the air. Kuzuki's right fist, the fist that he hadn't been using, was thrust like a spear. I parried the blow that tried to pierce through my chest and ribcage with my twin swords. In an instant, my twin swords are destroyed, and it seems like I was flung away from the impact. I feel something hard against my back. I must have been flung about 5 meters. I try to resume my breathing and realize I can't breathe. The penetrating impact is numbing my heart. I can't breathe and I can't even move my limbs. Just a few seconds. During that gap of my heart resuming to work, the devil approaches. This is it. The man would finish me off if I dropped my guard for only a second. With me like this, it would be more than enough time to kill me 6 times. I glare at my enemy. Even if my limbs don't move, there are still things I can do. I'm not the one who wields swords to start with. My weapons that I fight with have always been magecraft. Then, it's not over yet. My role is to hold Kuzuki down. I can't give up without fulfilling my role. Huh? That hitting sound didn't come from in front of me. The structure of the sword that I was imagining disappears. Kuzuki he was approaching to twist off my neck stops. That abnormality was behind Kuzuki. It happened to Caster, with the altar behind her. Hold on. What the fuck happened? Tosaka is also at an advantage. No, the burden is greater than mine, since she clearly understands the difference in their powers. Caster points her fingers towards her, full of composure. The magecraft is Iroh. Caster has no need for incantations. To the witch that lived in the age of gods, she does not need a process to connect herself with the world. Caster is always surrounded by the divine mysteries that make the world go round. For her, magecraft is just something she commands. Fuck! Iroh! It's just like ordering a guard dog to attack. She counters that with her treasured jewels. She does not have time to cast a spell, and she cannot match Caster's magecraft with simple spells. Their skills as a mage are as far apart as heaven and earth. To bridge that gap, she can only bring out the thing that she had been accumulating for a long time. The crystallization of magical energy that she had stored since she was born as a daughter of a mage. She faces the challenge, preparing to use the remaining 9 out of 10 irreplaceable jewels. How brave of you. I didn't think you had the trump card, young lady. Caster keeps her smile, even though her magecraft is being nullified by pure magical energy. Caster can exercise magical energy almost infinitely, and the girl who opposes her using jewels as amplifiers. That difference is obvious. I do not know how many jewels she has, but it should be around 10 or 20. There's no way she can defeat Caster with that amount. She neutralizes the electric charge with the 7th jewel. There are 6 jewels left. With 6 more spells from Caster, her trump card will run out. Oh, you dodged them well. So brave. You wouldn't run out of jewels if you were just protecting yourself. Without reacting to the giggling voice, she readies a jewel between her fingers in preparation for the next bullet. Just as Caster says, her jewels would not shatter if she were just protecting herself. Each jewel should be able to block Caster's spell about 3 times. But she couldn't do that. Caster's magecraft covers the sanctuary once it is activated. Kuzuki should be protected by Caster, but he is an exception. If she does not counter Caster's magecraft before it is activated, then Shiro Emiya, who was keeping Soichiro Kuzuki busy, will burn and die. Therefore, it is meaningless if she only protects herself. She can't let him die like that, and the premise of this strategy is that he stops Kuzuki. Oh, you still plan to keep on protecting him? That is quite some conviction, but I wonder how long that will last. The result is clear if all you do is defend, young lady. Caster's fingers move. In response to that, she makes the first move. Her jewels will run out and she will be killed if she keeps on defending. Caster's magecraft and her jewels. If the magical energy contained is the same, then it means she can beat Caster if she makes her first move. But she cannot surpass Caster's spells. If Ren Tosaka is the fastest without using spells, and can establish minstrels just by releasing jewels, Caster is also the fastest, as she can create divine mysteries with just one phrase. There is no first move in their battle. This is just a clash of power against power. The first one to lose from the clash and run out of magical energy loses. Then, She just needs to force her way through. She uses her jewels one after another and breaks through Caster's magical energy. There are 3 jewels released. Additionally, she uses her treasured 4th jewel to add a synergistic effect. That magecraft is beyond her limits. You cannot use magecraft surpassing your own tolerance. She herself who told him that is breaking the rule to unleash this attack. The attack would destroy not only the sanctuary but the entire church had Caster not defended against it. But the witch in purple blocks her like it is nothing. No, it wasn't just that. Caster had swallowed all her magical energy into her robe. Tosaka stands there in astonishment. Behind her, she can hear the sound of his defeat. The sound of breaking swords and his body slamming against the wall. The match is about to be settled. There's nothing she can do and her body sways. She staggers forward as if defeated by an inescapable despair. Oh, this is it? You still have more jewels, right? Why don't you try until you run out without giving up? She has no energy to answer. Regardless of how many jewels she has left, this was the best she could do. If that didn't work, not even 100 jewels would be enough to hurt Caster with her magecraft. I see. It seems you finally realized that you're no match for me no matter what you do. But it was fun, young lady. It's been a while since I competed with magecraft. Yes, I shall give you value just because of that. She stops herself from falling forward, suppresses her nausea with her hand and keeps glaring at Caster. Is it vexing? But this is reality. Actually, you should be proud. Even though I did play with you, you forced me to compete in magecraft. Then Caster points at her, as if to pronounce her death sentence. Disappear. It is a matter of time until that boy is defeated by my master. Before that, let us finish this as well. Caster slowly murmurs her death. That opening. She had been waiting for that judgment. She only needs one phrase to release the spell. She hangs her head and smiles as she murmurs. Hold on, Tosaka! What did she do? Huh? I doubt my own eyes for a moment. Tosaka and Caster. Their battle of magecraft ended with Tosaka's defeat. Tosaka slowly staggered forward as if asking for Caster's forgiveness, and Caster released magecraft to finish her off. That moment, Tosaka counters the released magecraft. That's fine. That's not surprising. The problem is after that. Tosaka punches Caster with a fired up stance. Hold on! She's getting hand to hand! She said, fuck this shit, we finna squabble up, no G and X! Bitch! Tosaka throws herself into the hellfire. She finna box this bitch! She counters the released magecraft and, using it as a distraction, jumps on the Caster. Caster's surprise is that of a mage. She could not have predicted that the mage who lost in magecraft would start beating the shit out of her. I didn't expect it either, so it must be like blasphemy for Caster, who is an excellent mage. But that isn't just a useless struggle. Tosaka closes in and lands a 1-inch punch, a Chinese martial arts move on Caster's chest. A shattering sound. Tosaka must have strengthened her fist like Kuzuki, as her blow easily breaks through Caster's defense. You're amazing, you're fighting barehanded? Tough luck. Self-defense is a required subject for mages nowadays. I'm honestly fascinated by her coordination. Tosaka drops to the ground, Right after the 1-inch punch. Putting both hands on the ground, she crouches down to Caster's knees. To Caster, who has no hand-to-hand combat knowledge, it must look like Tosaka disappeared. She going for an uppercut. She trying to knock that jaw. Then she executes a foot sweep. Oh no! Sweep the leg like Mortal Kombat. Her kick using her entire body is explosive as if trying to kick off Caster's legs. Caster's feet are swept underneath her and lands on her back. But it doesn't stop. After the sweep, Tosaka stands up with her back turned to Caster, uses the turning momentum to jab Caster with an elbow. Fly! Tosaka stops turning and throws a straight punch at Caster, putting all her weight into it. Caster's body is blown away. Taking Tosaka's straight punch directly, Caster is slammed into the wall like me. She's getting fucked up! Leaning against the wall, Caster pants dizzily. Got you! There's distance between them. Tosaka kicks the ground to cover the few meters between them. The match is settled. Caster cannot move and her wound seems fatal. The battle only lasted for a few seconds. The match is settled within a 5-second interval after I was smashed into the wall when confronting Kuzuki. Caster has no energy left to fight back. Tosaka closes in on Caster with saber-like speed and delivers a finishing blow. Strengthening for just a few seconds using Magecraft. Tosaka intended to fight Caster close combat from the start. Caster only saw Tosaka as a mage. She acted like she was at a disadvantage, so she could use that opening to achieve her one-time surprise attack. And the plan worked. Caster was deceived by Tosaka and completely lost. Tosaka has won this battle. Yes. No, that's far enough, Tosaka. If not for this man's monstrous athleticism. If Tosaka running to Caster was like a hurricane, then his speed is like the storm caused by the devil. No way. Tosaka stops. In front of Caster, leaning against the wall, is Soichiro Kuzuki, who was just in front of me until now. Tosaka moves. The instant Tosaka feels death and immediately shields her face while jumping back. Kuzuki's right fist that blew me away strikes Tosaka's face. Tosaka guards her face with both hands and jumps back, but is sent flying. Tosaka smashed into the wall opposite from me with her arms dangling down as if they're broken. You missed your chance of victory. It's because of your inexperience that you weren't able to kill her after 4 strikes. He says calmly. But that's not Tosaka's fault. The reason she lost her chance is because of me. If I had stopped Kuzuki, Tosaka would have defeated Caster. This is my responsibility. Our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was lost because of my inexperience, and Soichiro Kuzuki's superior hand-to-hand combat skills. Caster's regained her consciousness. With Kuzuki by her side, she extends her awareness to the entire church. It was all for naught. Ambushes won't work on Caster anymore. Tosaka barely has any strength left, and I only have 2 swords left. This is bad. If they use her to attack us in this state, we won't be able to see the light of day ever again. That was close. I have to offer you my thanks, Master. If it wasn't for you, I would have been defeated right there and then. Save it. Wake Saber up now. It seems they're not the only ones who should be underestimated. Quite the keen observation, Master. Caster raises her right hand and points it at her on the altar. She is visibly bound by magical curses, just as Caster was about to set her free. Right. Had you done this just a few seconds faster. The sound came from above. I can hear the whisper coming from the stairs above me. Caster was the first that noticed something was wrong. Kuzuki can't tell. Why? Because Kuzuki can't detect traces of magical energy. Caster's on the move. Countless amounts of swords can be seen, floating above Caster's master. Above Soichiro Kuzuki. Perhaps Caster understood that she wouldn't be able to block the attack. She now stands in front of her master trying to shield him from the assault. Nigga! You cannot tell me my theory isn't correct! I was certain that the voice above me uttered such words. The room is now silent. The floating swords turn their gaze upon a single target on the floor and rain down upon them, piercing them. The swords vanish after they have cut through flesh and bone, leaving behind only traces of crimson. She chose to be a shield. Dragging her bloodied body, the woman looks back to the man she tried to protect. Kuzuki says nothing, while his servant stands in front of him with countless piercing wounds. Maybe she feels she doesn't have to hide it anymore. Taking down her hood, the woman shows her real face and slowly approaches her master. Her body is crumbling. At the brink of her death, the woman looks up at her emotionless master. She gently caresses the man's face with her hand. Master, are you alright? Her breath getting shallower with each fading second. Kuzuki shows no changes. He simply utters a short confirmation, and he does not even bother to turn his gaze to Caster. I'm glad. I just can't afford to see you die. This is fine. Wait. The woman lets out a smile, realizing that perhaps she's content because of this man. Truly unfortunate. Just when I had finally found my wish. The woman's hand drops down from the man's face. Caster's body starts to disintegrate from her feet. No need for you to weep. It simply means I will fulfill your wishes in your stead. His simple and straight answer makes her smile. She smiles and looks at him, as if like she's staring into a fading dream. I don't think that will be possible, because my wish had already been fulfilled. The great witch fades away as she falls to her internal slumber. Her purple robe falls to the ground. Without its owner, the robe also follows its master and fades into the wind. Not spending a moment looking at Caster, Kuzuki had turned his attention to that guy. To the guy probably standing above me, to the knight wearing a red cloak. My head hurts. It's not from the burden of projecting too many weapons. It's that chant. That chant that came out of that guy's mouth is attacking my brain with a constant feeling of nausea. Trace on. I'm certain that's what he said. I keep telling myself it's not possible for him to whisper those words, but without a doubt he uttered those exact words. Archer walks down into the church. Tosaka stares at Archer and is probably still doubting her own eyes. Archer, I had thought of the possibility, but did you really? Archer's not saying a word. He focuses his sight slowly on his enemy, Kuzuki. A viper in one's bosom. I see. That was your plan from the very beginning, Archer. You're right. But considering she was one of the many legends uttered in Greek mythology, I would say a Trojan horse would be a more fitting description here. Archer betrayed Caster right in front of her master, yet he shows no traces of regret facing the same man. I see. It's Caster's fault for bringing someone like you into our fold. Even with the traitor standing in front of him, Kuzuki shows no changes in his tone. He still has fight left in him. He's not a mage, and he's lost Caster. but Kuzuki still has the will to keep this fight going. He resumes his combat stance. Without Caster, Kuzuki's combat ability should have decreased drastically. Even if he's still the same dangerous Viper, Caster's boon that turned his fist to steel should have been gone by now. Despite that, Kuzuki still decides to face Archer. I see. I won't stop you if you wish to continue. Archer takes up his swords. There are unseen sparks between them. The battle is set to begin. Maybe Kuzuki really did fuck with Caster like that, man. Maybe she really did, because in the end, they were both fighting for each other, you know? Caster wanted the Holy Grail. Caster was really fighting so she can just spend more time with her master, you feel me? And she wanted the Holy Grail so that she can just, you know, spend more time with her master. That was it. Kuzuki, he didn't give a fuck about the Holy Grail. He was just doing what Caster wanted. He was just fighting so that she could get what she wanted. That was it. And he made it seem like he didn't really care. It was just whatever. Just, I got nothing better to do. But maybe like, for some reason, there was something that we didn't see. Maybe something that we didn't see in the background of their relationship. Maybe that made Kuzuki really want her wish to come true, whatever it was. You feel me? Maybe that's what it was. And now, like, even though he's not showing it, he is kind of fucked up by her leaving. And that's why he's so willing to lay down his life for a chance at, you know, fucking up the person that fucked her up. What? Is that really for the best? Kuzuki said he's not interested in the Holy Grail. He was simply here to accompany Caster, truly a master in name only. If that's the case, there shouldn't be any more reasons for Kuzuki to keep fighting now that Caster's gone. Wait, why are you doing this, Kuzuki? You were just following what Caster told you to do, right? Caster's not here anymore. You shouldn't have any more reasons to fight. My head hurts so much that my consciousness is fading, but I'm fixing my sights on the both of them. Kuzuki closes his eyes for but a brief moment and answers. You're right. I have no reason to fight. But because you see, like you, I'm not interested in this thing you call the Holy Grail. Then, however, this is something I've started. It means I can't just walk away and not finish what I've started. It's simple. His answer is plain and simple. The fight begins. The battle between them will probably end in a single encounter. Even if Kuzuki possesses martial arts and skills beyond that of a simple human, his opponent is a servant. Simply being better than normal humans is not enough. This fight is just an excuse to tighten up a loose end. This is the fate of the loser. A fight between the two masters is always going to be kill or be killed. So what's going to happen to Kuzuki is to be expected. If one is going to have a problem with this, then don't ever step into this war. Even so. Wait, why am I saving? Oh man, I want to stop them because like I'm thinking about my bro. You feel me? My bro. Dude, the council president, right? I'm thinking about him. Like that's his big brother. That's his big brother, bruh. Like he'll get fucked up if his big brother dies, won't he? That'll fuck him up. That's why I kind of want to stop him, but I feel like if I do go in there to stop them, I'm just gonna die. Like they're gonna kill me. I'm actually just gonna get fucking murdered, you know? I'm sure this will lead to a wrong end, but I'm gonna go for it anyways. Let's see if we can stop them. If there's a way for him to be saved, there's a way to resolve this without killing. Is it so wrong to wish for it? I don't mind being called naive, and I know I'm a hypocrite. To a master, defeating your opponent means killing them. I just thought about it, right? We just told Tosaka that we wouldn't be sitting here trying to save everyone. Oh well, no, we said that we understood that it was wrong, but we wouldn't stop. Okay, I guess we're sticking true to it. To a master, defeating your opponent means killing them. They're all aware of this fact before getting themselves involved thus far. They chose to fight knowing they will have to kill or be killed trying. I know how much of a coward I am for wanting to step in and stop them from fighting. And yet, If I had already decided to fight for someone, to help someone, then I can't afford to lose a life when that life can be spared. Stop! The fight is over. You don't have to fight anymore. I try to stop her while enduring my headache. In that moment, Kuzuki makes his move. Maybe my move gave him an opening. Kuzuki shortens the distance between him and Archer in an instant and strikes right between his eyes. A strike that would have shattered anyone's skull, yet Archer decided not to dodge the deadly attack. A sound can be heard as an attack makes contact with Archer's head. The Red Knight chose to withstand Kuzuki's strike and uses the opportunity to pierce through Kuzuki's chest. There's only silence. No one could utter a sound. Even I am at a loss for words. So Ichiro Kuzuki is dead. He died on the path he chose, like a ghost who left behind no words of longing nor feelings or regret or hope. What the f- Does it just not matter? Why should I stop them? No right to stop them. It doesn't matter if he was Caster's puppet. Kuzuki didn't put a stop to what Caster was doing. Not only did he not stop Caster from draining the town people's magical energy, he even encouraged her to do so. In that case, even if Kuzuki is not a mage, he is still without a doubt a master in this war. To a master, defeating your opponent means killing them. He was aware of this fact before getting himself involved thus far. He chose to fight knowing he will have to kill or be killed trying. Kuzuki is not seeking any help, nor is he admitting his defeat. The only thing that will stop the man in front of me is death. But, as a master myself, how can I stop them? Through a brief standoff, Kuzuki makes his move. Strike is just as swift and powerful, like a viper striking at its prey. Archer dodges at the last second and swiftly pierces Suichiro Kuzuki's chest. Fuck it, doesn't matter, okay. But yeah, back to my original decision. My head hurts. Not sure because I stressed my magic circuit, it's pressing against my nerves. I can't forgive him, being utterly powerless to oppose. Without knowing the cause, the sharp pain in my head gets sharper. I turn my head towards the sound. With Caster gone, the binding curses should be undone. In front of the altar at the back of the church, Saber hits the floor. Still lying on the floor, Saber's breathing is labored and in pain. Seeing her like this makes me forget about my headache. I rush towards her. I am annoyed that even a few meters between me and her feels so far away. Saber looks up. Seeing me running towards her, Saber lets out a sigh of relief. Huh? She suddenly tackles me and sends me flying. A sudden blow from the side. I was knocked down without resisting. My body is sent flying and bounces hard against the floor. My back lands first on the floor. I'm still confused by what just happened, but just as I look up, in that moment, I hear the sound of metal clashing again. Already back in action? Archer bitch ass trying to kill me! What I see is Saber armoring up, and right in front of her, on the ground where I stood, there are multiple swords piercing the floor. You asshole! It's him. He lets out a sound of disappointment as he keeps his sights on Saber. Not even able to stand upright, Saber glares at Archer. The bastard. I don't have to guess the reason. He fired his swords and tried to kill me from behind my back. Saber noticed what he was trying to do and instantly covered for me. Tosaka stands there looking at him dumbfounded, while Saber wields her sword as she's gasping for breath. Even if their positions are different, they harbor the same question. Now that Caster is defeated, why is Archer trying to kill Shiro Emiya? Only Archer and I stood unfazed by the interaction. That's right. I'm not surprised at what just happened. We have despised each other from the very beginning. We've stood against each other knowing we will never get along. We both reject each other's existence without not even knowing why. Why? The reason being why we must reject each other. If it's really what I think it is, of course he would want to kill me. I tried to stand up after being knocked to the floor. Saber was pretty desperate. She probably charged into me without being able to hold back. Because of that, she can barely catch her breath. That's why I must stand up. If the Saber I knew were to tackle me, it wouldn't be this weak. Right now, she barely has enough strength to even face me. If she's to go up against Archer and that body of hers, it would be no different than suicide. Archer, what are you thinking? Tosaka approaches Archer. Of course, she's confused. Archer only sided with Kazuma so he could betray her at the end and kill her. Now that he succeeded, there's no reason for Archer to attack me. Your little act is over now, right? Kaz is defeated, so I won't allow you to act on your own anymore. Won't allow? I don't get it. Why must I seek your approval to do anything? Especially when you're not my master anymore. What? Archer? My contract with you is ended. Now that I'm free, do you think I would choose to lower myself to be a human's lackey? Tosaka looks upon Archer like she still can't believe what she's just heard. But then a sudden realization hits her. Don't tell me, Archer. I only act for my own goal. However, it'll be a bit troublesome for you to be there. Tosaka jumps back. She distances herself from Archer and starts running towards me while I'm still trying to stand up. But Tosaka was not able to do that. A storm of swords 2 meters tall is raining down. The swords come down in a circular pattern, stabbing the floor to create a cage. A circular cage with barely enough space for a single human. The instant that cage is formed, Tosaka is trapped in the middle of it. Now that I've come this far, I won't let you interfere. The contract is severed, so the command spell you've used on me no longer works. That's the only reason I sided with Caster. In order to void the command spell you've used on me, I must also void the contract. Archer starts walking, turning his back on Caster, who is now trapped in a cage of swords. He's now walking towards Saber, but towards me while I still have my knee on the floor. I knew it! Why, Archer? Why are you still trying to kill Shiro? That's right. I will kill Shiro Emiya with my own hands. That is my only wish. A wish of the man who's fallen to become a guardian. What? Strength is returning to Saber's body. She collects her thoughts, focuses her strength, and shifts herself between Archer and myself. Archer, don't tell me. That reminds me, Saber. I think you've once said to me that I don't have the pride of a hero. Of course not. It's impossible for me to harbor such emotions. The only thing that I harbor is the feeling of regret. You see, Saber, I wish I never became a hero. Saber's will to fight is leaving her body. Maybe she has suddenly understood something. Whatever it may be, she no longer has any animosity towards Archer. I've said enough. Now step aside, King of Knights. You don't have a master anymore, so if you do anything reckless, you'll disappear. Shiro Emiya no longer has the right to be a master. Your wish will not be fulfilled even if you help him. I can't do that. Even if he's not my master anymore, my pact with him still stands. I swore that I would protect him, that I would be his sword. He didn't know anything about the Holy Grail War, yet he has answered my one-sided wish. I cannot easily betray that trust. She holds up her invisible sword, but the brave and gallant knight is nowhere to be seen. I see. In that case, you can die here alongside your false lord. Swords appear on Archer's hands. What? Saber can't even withstand Archer's attack as she is right now. You idiot, Saber, run! I stand up and try to reach out to Saber. Maybe she's trying to stay away from my reach. Saber focuses all her strength to her feet and rushes towards Archer. The fight is over after a few rounds of trading blows. The old Saber would have undoubtedly overpowered Archer, but now she can barely swing her sword for seconds before she's down on her knees. Saber doesn't even have a sword in her hand anymore. In an effort to resist Caster's curse, she used up all of her magical energy. For Saber now, even taking in air is an effort. She's facing down, all fours on the ground, and trying her hardest just to maintain her existence. Archer raises his arms. He swings his swords down upon the defenseless Saber. I rush in and muster all my strength to block Archer's attacks. I hold up my two swords. With the weapons I instantly projected in my hands, I fixed my sight on the Red Knight. Well, I thought you'd behave for a little longer. I guess you really can't stand a woman being killed in front of you. Shut up! The person you really want to kill is me. Now point your swords at the right person, fuck nigga! The two of us continue to face off with each other. We both hold twin swords in our hands. Even though our stature may differ, our stance is absolutely identical. If you mimic someone long enough, eventually no one can tell you apart. However, can that body of yours withstand using this much magecraft? A clear mockery. But like you said, I am at my limit. My headache won't stop, and my accelerated magic circuits are at their limit because of my repeated projection. In my current state, if I continue to trade blows with him while maintaining the swords, my brain will explode before he cuts me down. I told you already. You are not fit to use projection. Using a magecraft not fit for you will only lead to your own destruction. It seems you're paying the price for performing miracles up until this point, SHIIIIT. Archer's charging towards me. Shut the hell up, you piece of... At that moment, I meet Archer's swords with my own, with such an intensity as if to make me forget about my headache. I swing my weapons. My movement is simply a mimicry of my opponent's. If my swords are borrowed, so is the skill to wield them. That's why there's no way I can match him. Even if I'm at my peak condition, I'm not able to defeat him. A fake can come close to the real thing, but it will never surpass it. That's why I didn't have a chance to stand up to this man from the beginning. He told me to drown holding on to my ideals. He also told me my life was a lie. I couldn't say anything to him because he was my ideal. The power to realize the impossible. A man who became a heroic spirit after saving so many others. I am the one who wished to become like that. That's why I can't win. The man standing in front of me is the one who reached the end of my ideal. If this man is truly the same person who wanted to become stronger to save others, the embodiment of SHIIIIT's ideals. The sword shattered. While I was able to block his attack, I lost my swords in the process. My consciousness is fading. My body is uninjured, but what's inside of my body is bleeding, slowly withering away. Now do you understand? This is the limit of SHIIIIT. It is a fitting end for someone who's been pushing himself past his limits until today. He raises his sword. Just when I try to discern which side of the sword is going to cut down from with my fading consciousness. Heed my words. My will creates your body and your sword creates my destiny. If you heed the Grail's call and obey my will and reason. Tosaka's dignified voice echoes in the church. Maybe he was distracted by that. The sword strike loses its momentum. If that's the case, even in my current body, I can dodge that attack. I rolled away on the ground to create the floor to create some distance. Archer clicks his tongue. He doesn't go after me and looks at Saber on the floor. Then answer me! Thus I place my fate by your sword! Tosaka's reaching her hand out to Saber from her cage of swords. Responding to her call, Saber rushes to Tosaka with all his strength. Upon my name as Saber, I hereby accept your oath. Rin, I will acknowledge you as my master! This is the contract that should have happened. Saber is finally able to get the master she deserves. Winds gather and whirl around Saber. Perhaps it's because she's gotten her real power back now that she has a proper master. Saber's facing Archer now is not the same person as before. What is this? I'm not the only one stunned by this sight. Even Archer is enchanted by what's happening. A surge of magical energy and a set of armor that's impervious to damage. That enormous magical energy which is enough to overwhelm anyone is truly infinite. That is Saber. The heroic spirit of the sword that is said to be the most powerful of the servants. I'd intended to have her forge another contract with Rin, but this isn't how I thought it would go. Maybe he can't spare any effort on me anymore, but Archer is only focusing on Saber. And what are you going to do, Saber? Now that you formed a contract with Rin, what happens with SHIIIIT going forward is irrelevant to you. I have told you, Archer. My oath with SHIIIIT stands. Saber says with determination. Irritated by her words, Archer grips his swords. I could ask the same of you, Archer. What are you going to do? If you still want to kill SHIIIIT, then you'll have to go through me. Now's your chance to rethink your decision. Should you go against me now, well, I'm sure even you understand how slim your chances are. Saber's words are true. Saber in her condition now could go against Berserker one-on-one and still walk away victorious. It doesn't matter who Archer is, he can't win against Saber. He understands that better than anyone yet. Look at you, brimming with confidence simply because you regained some magical energy. Not letting her respond, Archer charges at Saber. Swords clash. A bolt of crimson rushes towards Saber, and Archer swings with all his might. Saber blocks that without even flinching. Their difference in stature and even Archer's sudden burst of speed makes no difference. Saber parries Archer's attacks with ease. Yet Archer is the one who falls back despite being on the offense. A single strike with utmost power and precision. Not only was it blocked, he even lost his balance in the process. Archer falls back without hesitation, seeing an opening. Saber attacks Archer with a fierce onslaught. There's nothing Archer can do other than block Saber's attacks. If he tries to counter, Saber's sword will split his skull in that opening. No, he doesn't even have the spare effort to think about countering. The only resistance allowed for Archer is blocking Saber's attack until he runs out of strength. Even then, that won't last long. The magical energy imbued in Saber's sword is chipping away at Kansho and Bakuya. The twin swords can't stand any more of Saber's attacks, nor does Archer have much strength left. The end came sooner than expected. Not able to withstand Saber's assault, Archer falls down on his knee. Saber stops for a short moment, then swings down her sword. That decisive strike, Archer stopped it with the cross formed by his swords. The fight ends there. While Archer did stop Saber's attack, he can't move another inch. If he lets go even an ounce of his strength, Saber's sword will cut him in half and the skull down. Pouring all his strength into his arms, Archer stops Saber's strike. Sweat is dripping down Archer's forehead and he's gasping for breath. In contrast, Saber is calm and collected. In close-range combat, it's impossible for an Archer-class servant to win against a Saber-class servant. This is the end for you, Archer. You were worrying about me earlier, but I shall return those words to you. With KenZerk gone and the race we've been using your noble phantasm, you shouldn't have much energy left. On top of that, you don't have a master, an anchor to stay manifested in this world. You can't even replenish your magical energy. Just what exactly can you do in your current state now? You don't have to worry about that, Saber. Archer-class servants have a unique skill that lets them stay manifested independently. They can survive for at least 2 days even without a master. That's plenty of time for me to kill him. Are you still talking about that nonsense? Are you saying your wish is not for the Grail but to kill Shiro? Archer didn't respond. His cold eyes simply stare at the baffled and troubled Saber. How can you wish for something like that? Archer, your wish is mistaken. Why? Why would you wish for an end like that? Even if you do something like that, you won't be saved. Saber bites down on her lips before she can finish her sentence. My wish is mistaken, huh? Archer puts more strength into his arms. He stares back at Saber. Right back at you, Saber. Just how long are you still gonna cling on to that mistaken wish of yours? A brief moment of sadness flickers in Archer's eyes as he asks Saber. Saber's grip on her sword weakens. Archer seizes the opportunity to free himself and uses the opening to kick Saber off. Saber was sent backward from that kick, but she lands with grace. The situation doesn't change from a minute ago. A stalemate between Saber, who's protecting me, and Archer, who has his back turned to the cage Tosaka. The distance between the two has extended to about 5 meters. Okay. I didn't think I could match your sword skills, but to think it would be this obvious. The swords in his hands disappear and he faces Archer empty-handed. Archer, I take that gesture to be you retreating. No. And I would stop your assumption. I am an Archer-class servant. There are no archers who would prefer to fight with swords. After saying that, in a whisper, Archer starts with the incantation. Stop it, Archer! We still have... Saber. One day, someone will be here to liberate you. It seems that time has yet to arrive, but I'm sure I will be part of it the next time you are involved.
Unknown to death, unknown to life.
The incantation echoes in the church. Nothing changes in the surrounding. An incantation that long will most certainly affect the environment. Magecraft is something that works by exerting influence on the world itself. However, his incantation doesn't do it, but... Well, that's a topic for next time. I only have one goal right now, and that's to kill Shiro Emiya. If you were to stand in my way, then this world I'm creating won't hold back on destroying you. He raises his left arm. Does that mean he's completing his incantation?
Unlimited blade works.
With a clear phrase, he starts to exert his influence over the world. Flames erupting. The flames trace across the floor as if drawing a line. Does that mean the flames are creating a boundary around the church? The bright luminescence generated by the flame envelops the church. In an instant, the church was replaced by a strange landscape. My headache is overpowering my thoughts. I can understand. I can understand this magecraft, this bizarre scenery. It shouldn't be possible for me to understand, but I was able to decipher what is happening in front of my eyes naturally. And that fact is hurting my head more than anything. To sum it up in one word, this is a forge. Burning flames and rotating gears in the sky. Swords with no wielders are scattered across his wasteland. Every blade across the landscape is a famed sword, and the Kanso and Bakuya he uses are weeds from this world. A seemingly infinite projection of weapons. The countless weapons that makes this place look like a junkyard. And standing in the middle of this wasted kingdom is the Red Knight. What is this? There's an obvious confusion in Saber's voice. Standing in the cold phantom flame, she looks at the Red Knight bewildered. Reality Marble. A forbidden spell that corrodes the world by materializing someone's mental landscape over it. That means not only were you not a swordsman nor a bowman. Yes. I was a mage before becoming a heroic spirit when I was alive. Tosaka speaks calmly. Does that mean she already knew? Maybe she had already discerned Archer's identity. Then Archer, your noble phantasm is... I don't have anything of the sort. That's because I never possessed any blessed swords or cursed ones. This world is the only thing I have. If a noble phantasm is what represents the essence of a heroic spirit, then this magecraft, this reality marble, is my true noble phantasm. As long as it categorizes as a weapon, I can replicate it and store it in this world simply by looking at the original. That is my ability as a heroic spirit. Saber can't believe what she's heard. She looks around bewildered, seeing only swords in this wasteland. Swords that feel no different than unmarked gravestones. This place filled with wasteland and iron, covered by a lonely gray sky. Are you telling me this is your world, Archer? Indeed. Would you like to give it a try, Saber? I will replicate your sacred sword with absolute detail. My sacred sword? Are you saying you know what it is, Archer? Of course. I might not be able to perfectly replicate a sword like that, but I can make one that's close to the real thing. What will happen then? When two sacred swords clash, do you think the bystanders will live to tell the tale? You... Archer, how could you? Now you're getting it. So don't go waving around that sword too much, Saber. If you unleash its power, then I have no choice but to counter it. If that were to happen, it wouldn't be us who would perish, but the bystanders around us. Knowing you would sacrifice yourself to protect that boy. I probably won't survive the projecting a secret sword. That means only one person, Shiro Emiya, would survive. Then everything would be for naught. Archer raises his left hand. At the signal, sword starts to levitate behind him. Don't resist. You won't die if you're lucky. Just ask your master to heal you after my business here is finished. Archer's fingers point at Saber. Countless swords turn and point at Saber. Every single one of those swords is capable of delivering a killing blow. Feel free to dodge if you'd like, but just know the man behind you won't be so lucky. He gives his command to the swords. The infinite amount of swords start their assault. Saber can't afford to move an inch from her spot. Knowing a single mishap could be fatal, Saber grips her sword in her hand and strikes down each and every sword that rains down. My headache is taking away my ability to think. My magic circuits will last for one more try. My devastated insides are scorched beyond recognition and on the verge of melting. But all of that stopped mattering the moment I saw this world. Next thing I know, I'm focusing my strength and running up next to Saber, fixing my eyes on those annoying swords. Shiro, you can't be here, step back! Who cares? If my eyes can't keep up with the flurry of swords, then what I need to do now is let my senses take over and analyze them. Even if my head can't process any faster, I'm still pushing it beyond its limits. The next wave of swords is coming. It feels as if the hammer of a gun knocks down the back of my head. Don't! I reach out my left arm. I don't have a shred of doubt. I copied so many up until now. If the logic and method behind what I did was correct, Give me that bullshit, you bastard! And there's no way I can't copy the flurry of swords before me. Fuck! Fragments shatter around us. When I open my eyes, his reality marble of whatever it was called is gone. What remains are the scattered fragments of swords and... a hellish feeling of nausea that makes me gag, as if I'm about to throw up my own organs. He stares at me with animosity. Wait, what do you think you're doing, Archer? Archer grabs Tosaka out of her cage with swords and restrained her. Tosaka violently moves her body, trying to get away from Archer's grasp. I don't know what he's done, but Archer put his hand on the back of Tosaka's neck and her consciousness is gone. After that, he decides to leave the church. He holds Tosaka in his arms as he leaps up the stairs that lead to the ground above. Where do you think you're going, Archer? To a place that won't be interfered by anyone. Besides, I ran out of magical energy. I don't have the strength left to finish the boy when you're protecting him. Why are you taking Rin with you? Is she your hostage? I wouldn't put it like that. As long as she's with me, the boy has no choice but to follow me. On top of that, Rin is your master. You might think highly of that boy, but your master's life is irreplaceable. I'm trying to fight this nausea, trying hard to hold on so I don't pass out. I respond to that nonsense. Outside of the town. And then, exhausted, I tell him, without even looking at him. What? I just told you. Head to the forest outside the town. There's an abandoned castle, and if it's there, we won't bother anyone. Shiro, you have something you want to say to me, right? Fine, let's hear it. There's things I want to say to you too. I'm fading in and out of my consciousness. Despite the nauseating sickness, I told him as much. The forest outside of town. I see, Einsburn Castle. Indeed. No one would interfere with us in that castle. Quite a resolve you have there, Shiro Emiya. Shut up! It's not important. I don't want to hear his flattery. If I have to listen any more of it, my innards might burst out of my body from the unbearable pain. I dare you to try to lay a finger on Tosaka. If you do, I'll kill you even if I have to ask Saber for help. A sharp pain attacks me. I warn him in rage and claw in my head to fight my headache. Fine. As your reward for the location, I will guarantee your safety for a day. But I would advise you to hurry up. I don't have much time since I don't have a master anymore. I won't last even 2 days. If I don't get to kill you before that, who knows? I might kill the hostage out of resentment. His annoying laughter lingers in my ear as he leaves. I fell down on my knee before I could see him leave. Shiro, no matter how much you force yourself, even with your skills, it's too early for you to perform the same level of projection as Archer. She holds me as I fall down. I'm sorry, Saber. I let him take Tosaka. I try to stand up while holding my head. Shiro, don't worry about that. Rin is fine. I don't think Archer would lay his hand on her. What you should worry about is your body. Leave Rin to me. You should just go home and rest. No, we don't have time for... I feel like passing out as I try to finish that sentence. Damn it! I can't believe this. It seems I don't even have the strength to form words. I will hear you out later. Right now, I must take you back to your house. I assume you don't have a problem with that, right, Shiro? Wait, what are you? I don't even have time to say anything back. Saber lends me a shoulder as we're walking toward the stairs. sky is still gray. We leave the now deserted church. Oh, so you're done with your business, boy. There, in the clearing in front of us is the familiar spearman. Saber glares at her while supporting me. She's so tense that she would slash him without hesitation if he took another step. No, you're mistaken, Saber. He helped us. Huh? Do you mean Lancer cooperated with you, Shiro? Yeah, that's right. If you can, don't fight him, please. Saber stares at Lancer in astonishment. It seems like he's fully enjoying Saber's reaction. I understand, but why, Lancer? Is cooperating with Shiro and Ren part of some scheme? Huh? Oh, are you stupid? Of course I am. I won't help someone unless I'm scheming something secretly. I knew he was that kind of guy, but he's thorough as he's making fun of Saber as well. What is so funny, Shiro? Huh? Was I laughing? Yes, you were. I suppose I was mistaken. It seems as though I do not need to support you if you're well enough to laugh. It's bad, but that made me a bit relieved. Saber's the same as before. Our connection is gone, but she's here just like before. Then what's there to regret? My bad. I guess I let my guard down. Now's not the time, huh? Yes. We should rest for now. Even if we are to get Ren back. Lancer, I do not know what your objective is, but you should be done with your business. Then leave. I will not fight you now. She declares in a dignified manner and goes down to the clearing. Huh? Hey, everything went well, or I guess not. What happened, boy? Archer took Tosaka away. We're just gonna get her back. I bear my dizziness and answer looking into Art Lancer's eyes. What? Hold on, what's going on? I'm sorry, but I don't have any energy left. I can't give such a long explanation, so I should go home and... Archie's objective is to kill Shiro. In order to do that, he has abducted my master Ren and requested a duel with Shiro in exchange. Her safety will not be guaranteed if we do not go to him within a day. Well, it was helpful of you to explain on my behalf, but there's no point in telling Lancer that, Saber. Damn, he really did it this time. Then, he takes off his friendly face and grits his teeth. Lancer? So what? He betrayed his young lady not once but twice. Yes, that would be the case. What about it? Don't what about it me? Damn it! I changed my mind. This was the only help I was going to offer. But let me help you a little longer. I won't be able to have peace of mind like this. Lancer spits out and starts walking. Saber stares at Lancer silently. I understand how she feels. Lancer's back looked as if he was telling us that he'll join us. I am troubled. What kind of magecraft did you and Ren use to get him on our side? Saber's voice sounds more shocked than amazed. But unfortunately, I don't have the energy to answer, and my wounds are starting to hurt again. No, first of all, I'm the one who wants to ask that question. Interlude. And I recall his dream. The memory of the man who was set up as a hero. The story of a knight whose end came to a place that I can't reach. That hell is his world. The desolate wasteland that the man obtained by fighting for others. Apparently he died smiling in satisfaction, holding on to this view. He's seriously stupid. Yes, that just makes me seriously mad. He tried his best, worked hard even though he was an ordinary person, and finally obtained the miracle with his own blood. Then it'll be a lie if he doesn't become happy. If he made many people happy, then he had to become happier than all those people combined. But he did not receive such a reward. The only thing he was given was the fate to be used as a guardian after his death. That's right. Why didn't I realize that? Guardians are summoned into every age. Doesn't that mean that they're summoned from every age? In other words, from the present and the past. And heroic spirits can even be summoned from the future we have not yet seen. For guardians who are pushed into a position off of the axis of time, the concept of time does not exist. At the point they became a heroic spirit, they sublimated into something other than what they used to be when they were human. Then, it's possible for a guardian to be summoned into a place and age they've lived in when they were alive. It's vexing when I think about it. It's because neither of them gets salvation. The one that watches his past self, or the one that watches his eventual self. They will only hurt by how they've changed. I already know the end of this big idiot who tried to be of help to others. He became a guardian by choice. He thought that it was more than he could ask for if he could save people even after he died. He did not have the power to save people when he was alive, but he believed that he could break through any tragedy as a heroic spirit. Thinking so, he made a contract with the world to give his body after death, and saved hundreds of lives. He believed he would be able to save tens of thousands of people and more after that, but he was betrayed by such a hope. Places where heroic spirits and guardians appear are only hell. They only appear when the world is about to be destroyed by people. Humans are beings that perish by their own doings. That's why the process of destruction should always be the same. He was only summoned to those hells. In the land where the ones he wanted to save were already dead, he killed even more people. The boy who said he just didn't want to see anyone cry could only see humans crying forever. There was only one thing I can say. He has been betrayed by many things this whole time. And in the very end, he was even betrayed by the only thing he believed in, his ideal. I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, nor known to life. Have withstood pain to create many weapons. Yet those hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited blade works. That was the only spell he was given. What is that? It makes me so mad that I want to beat his chest and scold him. I, Ren Tosaka, have never had any hardships in my life, so I might not have the right to say it, but I believe in working hard and going through pain. It's not wrong to want to be rewarded for your battles. That's why I'm angry at his unrewarded life, and most of all, I can't leave him, who ended up cursing his life be. As long as you're my servant, I won't do anything other than what I believe in. I'm not as naive as SHIIIIT, but there are still things I cannot give up. No matter who it is, I don't have the intention of giving up. That's right. That's why I swore that. As long as I'm his master, I'll believe in my path like he used to do. It's about all I can show him. That's about the only way I can repay him. That might have been meaningless, but at least I do it so that Archer, who lost sight of his own past, could realize that his life was something he can be proud of. The first thing I notice when I wake up from my slumber are the sensations in my limbs. They hurt and I can't move them. I'm tied up. Plus, I'm sitting in a chair that seems to be sleeping in an unnatural position. I don't want to admit it, but I'm in the worst possible situation. To be honest, I can't do shit. My hands are behind the chair and I'm restrained by something like handcuffs. My ankles are the same and I can't stand from the chair. On top of that, my handcuffs and shackles are magecraft resistant, and my magic circuit is so messed up that I can't create any magical energy. Now that I've confirmed my situation, I check my surroundings. It's cold. The room made of stone has no heater, and it is an abandoned place that hasn't been used for a while. It's dark outside the windows. From the looks of it, it's probably past 10 p.m. or so. So, what are you planning, Archer? I glare into the darkness. The shadow of the pillar. The knight in red is sitting on a pile of rubble. Nothing. You're just bait to Lord Shiro Emiya. You should know that. Shiro would come even if I wasn't here. You should know that. Yes. But it'll be inconvenient if you were with him. I'll have you stay here quietly until things settle down. Archer states without appearing in front of me. There's no sign of previous intimacy. He is really a calm assassin now. I see. So you'll kill Shiro no matter what? Oh shit. So you'll kill Shiro no matter what? Yeah. A naive man like that should be killed right now. He replies as if it's only natural. The only thing I can see from here is his shadowed side profile. His expression is cold as if he's wearing a mask. That makes me seriously infuriated. I don't even need to be told that Shiro is naive. I take a breath. It'll end if I say this. Archer will never come back to me if I say this. I take a breath and stare at the man in the shadows. But still, I think that naive part of him is lovable. He needs to be like that. I'm saved by having a guy like him. But what about you? You did this much, but you think it's wrong to preach a selfish ideal? You fought for others again and again, got betrayed again and again, and you were forced to clean up after them again and again. Did you get fed up with humans from that, Archer? I get even more angry as I speak, and I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. Archer doesn't answer. His side profile consumed in the shadows is no longer the side profile that I know. You cannot save everyone. When I heard that from the man I believed could save everyone, all I felt was repulsion. Look, Shiro, the hero of justice can only save those he has sided with. I didn't like those words either. I didn't want to be the person I didn't want the person who I thought was the hero of justice himself to say such realistic things. Since that time, my life has just been trying to overturn those words. There's no need for sacrifices. Nobody will be hurt if you work hard and do your best. My old man must have admired that as well. So, yeah, I'm relieved. I can't look away from his final moment. So Saka said that such a life is distorted. I know. I realized that a long time ago. There's no such world where nobody gets hurt. And there's no happiness where no one gets hurt. Such a convenient utopia does not exist anywhere in this world. The hero of justice that I'm trying to become is just hypocrisy. There is nothing at the end of helping people. So, I know that without having to be told. It is a false life where neither others nor yourself can be saved. Yeah. Even if that's true, I won't let you say it. I don't care if anyone other than him denies it. But I won't let him say it. The same things. We have the same beginnings. Even if I were to turn out like that, no. That's why I have to deny him. So that he doesn't approve of the former Shiro Emiya. As long as I'm here, I won't approve of him. Even if this dream is distorted. If I believed in this and decided I will keep believing in it, then I wake up. I look at the clock right away and see that it's past 11 p.m. Are you awake, Shiro? Saber says in a calm voice, sitting on her knees. It has already been half a day since we came back from the church. She must have been watching over me the whole time I was unconscious. Yeah, I'm awake. My body is fine, my fatigue went away and my headache is gone. I get up from bed. The sensation of my limbs are back to usual. My magic circuit that I overused is still exhausted, but it hasn't burned up. Are you going, Shiro? Saber suddenly asks. The answer is obvious, so I silently nod back. Understood. Then I shall go with you. But Shiro, Rin is my master. It is my duty to rescue her. I will stop Archer, so you... No, it's the other way around, Saber. I'll fight Archer. I interrupt Saber. She looks at me uneasily. No, Shiro. Archer is your... She hesitates, having a hard time saying it. I know. I think I knew who he was from the first time I met him. I was repulsed by him without a reason from the first time we met. I stubbornly hated him, thinking that I could not approve of him. That is only natural. Any person would look away if they're shown their own mistakes. Yeah. But that's why I can't approve of what he did. I have to settle my match with him. I stand up. My body is in great condition. There's only half a day until time is up. I can't spend any more time resting. Shiro, I'm not in a position to be able to say this, but please, Saber. I'll fight Archer. I don't want you to help me no matter what happens. I bow as I ask Saber. No, there's no need to do that, Shiro. I shall obey if that is your wish. I swore that I would be your shield. I shall see your fate stay night off until the end. I shall see your fate until we stay off in the night. End. Her answer is perfect. Her dignified voice sweeps away the uneasiness lingering on my mind. Thanks. It's reassuring to know that you'll be watching over me. Yes. I'm glad that you are you, Shiro. She smiles back. We prepare for departure now. We leave my house. Who would have thought that we would go back to that castle again? Hey, you guys aren't listening to me, huh? 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 We both turn around. Oh, come to think of it, Lancer was still here. Oh, you have more free time than I thought. It just slips out. He seems to be aware of it himself, but as he doesn't seem to deny it. Lancer, I do not know when you are scheming, but you have nothing to gain by joining us. Archer is a servant without a master. I do not think your master would want to defeat him. Yeah, I know. I have no intention of fighting Archer. I won't interfere with their fight, so don't worry. Then what are you following us for? If you wish to settle the score with me, then we can do it right here. No, I'll pass on that too. I have no intention of opposing your master. Rather, I want to do her a favor. I want her to be in debt to me. Saber glares at Lancer, and Lancer aloofly ignores her stare. Fine, do as you wish. It would help us too if you'll help to rescue Tosaka. Shiro, Lancer is an enemy. You cannot make such rash decisions. Don't worry about that. He's twisted, but he doesn't lie. And he can't do anything that sneaky. He'd defeat us head on before he'd want to trick us. That is true, but... Well, I'll drive him away if you don't want to. But he'll follow us even if we let him be. In that case, it's easier to have him by our side so we can keep an eye on him, right? You have become quite a smooth talker within a few days, Shiro. Well, a lot happened. Anyway, that's it, Lancer. We won't concern ourselves with you, so don't bother us either. If you're fine with that, let's go. I called a Lancer who's watching us with a smile. Good enough. Wow, you guys make a great pair. Saber is inflexible to the she looks. It's good you became mature. That is not true. Shiro is the inflexible one. You do not know how much trouble I have been through.
さあ
I don't know.
なんだ
What would you tell me if I asked? Fine. We have a lot of time. We have a lot of time until we get to the castle. Let's entertain ourselves on the road with your stories. What? Why do I have to explain such a thing to you? You have nothing to do with this. Saber accuses Lancer. Wow. Saber and Lancer really don't get along. I didn't think that Saber would yell like Tosaka. Oh well. Let's get going. We don't have time to be playing around. We need to get to the castle as soon as possible. I leave the two behind and start walking. Shiro! I'm not playing around! She must still be worked up as she yells as she catches up. Lancer keeps his distance from us and follows us aloofly. Saber is such a cutie pie. It's midnight. I know how long it takes to get to the castle from here. We should be able to make it in time. We'll most likely get there by dawn. We head towards the masterless old castle in the forest and start walking in the night. Holy guaca shit and cock. Oh my goodness. That was certainly a chapter. Nothing too crazy. Well, okay, look. The shit that happened is absolutely insane, of course, right? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this. Of course, the shit that happened is absolutely insane. But it's like, I had already theorized most of this shit in the first place, right? So it's not like it's that crazy to me. But damn, if I hadn't peeped game, I would have been in so much shock right now. But I had already theorized it. I already had it in my feelings. I already had it in the back of my head. But holy fuck. I think next chapter is the last one. So hope y'all enjoy. Peace out. I love y'all. Tap into the next one. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I read them all. Tap into the next one. Fuck. I think the finale is tomorrow. So tap into the end of Unlimited Blade works. Let's see if them Unlimited Blades really work.